United States of America has tabled a resolution yesterday at the UN Human Rights Council sessions in Geneva in respect of Sri Lanka. We welcome that resolution. We don't see that resolution as something that is against Sri Lanka. That's a false belief. The main opposition party, UNP General Secretary Tissa Thanayaka, has issued a statement yesterday saying the same thing, that this resolution mustn't be viewed as one that is against the country. I say that because the resolution primarily is seeking to implement the recommendations made by the LLRC. Now the LLRC is a commission that was appointed by the President of Sri Lanka. It's a domestic mechanism. There was no foreign presence in that. And whenever the international community legitimately asks the questions about the allegations of war crimes and crimes against humanity, Sri Lankan government always pointed to the LLRC, saying that that is the proper mechanism, that is the domestic mechanism. Wait until the LLRC comes up with its report and we will do what the LLRC recommends. Now that the LLRC has come up with its recommendation, the government is dragging its feet. Government has not spoken clearly. Government is not implementing the recommendations. One good example is that one of the recommendations is the national anthem must be sung in both the Sinhala and the Tamil languages. Even this year's National Day, 4th of February, His Excellency the President, in his speech, he said that they were implementing the LLRC recommendation, but that function itself, national anthem was sung only in Sinhala. So even that small recommendation, the government is unwilling to implement, and that is why the international community has now, after the lapse of 3 years, has taken it up and is asking the question, all right, we gave you the time and the space for 3 years for you to do your own investigation, for you to come up with your own mechanism. Now that has come, a recommendation has been made, but you are not doing it. So the resolution says they encourage the Sri Lankan government to implement their own commission's recommendation, and they are offering technical assistance in carrying that out. And that's a good thing, because these matters, particularly war crimes and crimes against humanity, is not a matter for any domestic government. When it concerns human rights and international humanitarian laws, those are matters in which legitimately the international community can have a stake in, and so it's a legitimate exercise of the international community's concerns regarding these matters. And so our position is that since the Sri Lankan government has not clearly given a signal that they will implement the LLRC recommendation, now the international community must come and encourage and use their good officers to have those recommendations implemented. Now with regard to the TNA took a decision not to be present at Geneva because we have no place there. That is, we are part of a state here. We are a political party and we are part of the state structure here. What happens in Geneva is an interstate mechanism between states, and there are 47 countries that have membership with voting there. So we don't have a due place there. That's a matter between the countries. We can canvass certain positions, but we did not want to do that because we are part of this country. We don't want anything against Sri Lanka to happen. We want Sri Lanka to move forward and find reconciliation. But that reconciliation must be true reconciliation. It shouldn't be on the surface. It must address all these deep-seated questions. It must address the national question that has been hanging over our heads for the last 60 years. And if that is addressed, then the country can move forward together. As true Sri Lankans, we would want to see this country flourish as a multi-ethnic, multi-religious, multilingual, plural society. We wrote to all the countries because the affected community by the war is primarily the constituency that we represent, the Tamil people. So our people's position must be known to the international community when they consider this resolution. Our people overwhelmingly want the international community coming into this picture because the Sri Lankan government is unwilling to move forward properly towards reconciliation, addressing justice concerns and accountability issues. People have suffered greatly. They want justice, they also want reconciliation. So representing our people's feelings to the international community was important at this stage. They should know what the actual victims want in this situation. So we have communicated what our people want. US has brought this resolution. As I said, the nature of the resolution is to encourage Sri Lanka to do its own, implement its own recommendation, and we are in support of that. That's what our people want, and so we think other countries must vote in favor. And from history also we know that United States does not table a resolution and fail in that. So a country like the US has taken a lead role in this, and therefore we think the resolution will be passed.